On Thursday, the 6th, President Cyril Ramaphosa will outline his Government of National Unity's plans for the nation. This is the first State of the Nation address for the 7th Parliament, and the first SONA made up of GNU parties. As expected, improving the economic forecast remains a priority across party lines.
We all know that the key problem, the major problem facing the people of this country is unemployment, the lack of jobs. So we're trusting that when the President delivers the State of the Nation address this year, he'll really pick up at those areas and really outline bold plans to ensure that we realize the commitments that have been made to the people of South Africa. We must say that this year is also going to be an important one with South Africa being president of the G20. We expect that the country will use that really to contribute to the African agenda, but also contribute to the building of a more equitable and just world order.
At the heart of what we want the president to talk about is how he's going to create jobs, grow the economy, and alleviate poverty. The DA maintains that all South Africans deserve an opportunity to put food on the table for themselves and their families. And the secret to doing so is having sustainable jobs, having an economy that is growing fast enough to maintain these jobs.
We need policy certainty, and those plans should not only be words and plans that are not actually executable. It should be plans that are implemented and implemented with haste, because South Africa is suffering, people are poor, there is unemployment, and we need the economy to grow. But then also, we would want him to address the fact that there's a lot of communities and groups in South Africa that are currently polarized, that does not feel part and parcel of South Africa, and he as president has the constitutional obligation to establish social cohesion, and he should also utilize the opportunity in the State of the Nation to do that so that everybody in South Africa contributes to building a better country.
In this regard, Action SA can only say that after 7 months, that the GNU has flattered only to deceive, like clouds and wind that bring no rain. There have been no fundamental policy shifts. In fact, we see a GNU enacting ANC policies. There's no remediation, and our economy continues to limp along, exacerbating the triple challenge of unemployment, inequality, and poverty. Lawlessness and brazen criminality compound these miseries.
I expect from the president to table a 5% GDP plan. South Africa needs growth. It needs to build infrastructure. It needs to deliver jobs. And ultimately, in the year where we chair the G20, I expect that the president be decisive on what is going on in our foreign policy by withdrawing the troops from the DRC, positioning them here for domestic priorities. That must be decisive. It cannot be that because you have a GNU, you must have a potpourri of priorities, as if every party must have a little something or something.
On Thursday at the State of the Nation address, we would expect to hear from the President the how part, how government intends to implement the priorities that are contained in the Statement of Intent, which is a good governing program based thoroughly in social justice and economic justice for the people of South Africa. If we were to highlight a particular crisis that South Africa needs to hear about, it is how the president and the government intends to address poverty. We cannot have a government that ignores its own treasury's concession that there are 18 million South Africans who live below the food poverty line.
Al-Jamaa expects President Ramaphosa to say why the 3 main aims for the National Development Plan 2030 will not be achieved. Al-Jamaa, however, expects to hear from President Ramaphosa that South Africa will have eradicated food poverty by 2030, and that every South African will have in their pockets at least 1,000 rand per month, every month, because of the magic of the Government of National Unity.
Parties say they want to see action from President Ramaphosa and his government, and that solid deliverables must emanate from the SONA. Abra Barbia, SABC News, Parliament.